I told him I did not touch her. It went so bad. I was beaten in front of the kids seated like this.
Really?
I was beaten and I was pregnant. He beat me up properly. I told me, Janet, I'm tired. I'm tired. She sent like 5 messages. So I was curious. I wanted to see this message. So I clicked on that message. What I saw.
What did you see?
What I saw, Kengori.
Tuko family, how are you doing? My name is Kingori Wangeshi. I welcome you to this episode of Tuko Talks. Our guest today is called Janet Shitandi. She has a story that you'll need to sit down and listen to. Let's hear about her love life, her marriages. She will tell us all about it and all her trials, triumphs, wins and losses. Karibu Janet. Welcome to Tuko Talks.
Shukran sana.
Kindly introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do, how is your family.
My name is Janet Shitandi Omomia. Born and raised in a very humble background in Western, Huisero. I'm a mother of 4 and a grandma.
Okay.
Yes, so I was raised as a firstborn in a family of 7. Back in the village at a place called Emwanero, Ebukanga. Yes, that's my home village.
Interesting names.
Yes.
We are here because of your marriage.
Yes.
Is it former marriage?
Former marriage. Yes.
Of how long?
15 years.
15 years.
Yes.
So we are here to have a conversation about 15 years of marriage and why it is no longer the case.
Yes. So I schooled in Western primary. Initially I started primary in Nakuru. Then my dad lost his job, so we had to relocate. So when we relocated, I went to live with my grandma on the side of my mother. So it was me and my sister. Because of 1, 2, 3, we used to live with our grandma and my uncles, and we were almost the age of my uncles, younger uncles. So there's another family uncles there who used to molest me and my sister. So there's this one time, he did that once on me, and I was very young. So I felt like it was not good.
It wasn't.
He repeated it again. So there's this one time I found my sister crying. She was younger than me. So I was in class 4. So when she was crying, I was like, what happened? She was just crying, and she didn't even want to tell me anything. She was shaking. So I felt like, because when I found my sister crying, I met this uncle. So I felt like there's something this uncle did to my sister, which my sister doesn't want to speak up. She was very young. She was almost like 7, 8 years. So I felt like there's something going on here. And being that this is something that happened to me, I didn't want to think that it happened the same way to my sister. So the following day, we woke up at 5 and we ran away. We went to our village where we were born. So there we met our grandma. And reaching home, our grandma was shocked.
It was very early for 2
because we were barefooted, we didn't have shoes. We walked all the way from Sabatia, Butere, to our village. So she was like, you are not in school. We are like, we don't want to go to school there. Why? We just don't want. So, my grandmother took us in, and the following day she went and enrolled us in school. So that's how we started living with our grandmother. And by then, my dad and my mom were in Nairobi here in Kibra. But their marriage was also shaky. So we lived there with my grandma. And at some point, my mom came home and we started living home with my mother. But still, her marriage was not all well. It was full of fights. They were fighting like, I remember this one time my mom was beaten to an extent that she lost her two teeth.
What?
Yes.
And you witnessed? Were you witnessing this?
Yeah, we were witnessing
these battles.
Yes. And when they were fighting, we were there. And if you try to cry, my dad will chase you away.
Okay.
So it was a very violent marriage, if I may say. It was not a good marriage. So we grew up like that. And when I reached class 8, by that time, my mom and my dad were not in good condition. So to a point that my dad got married to a second wife here in Nairobi. So when he got married, he came home with the stepmother. And when he came home with my stepmother, this one time we had lost one of our grandpas. We were having a funeral in the home ground. So my dad came in the morning with the stepmother. And this mama, since my mom was at the funeral place and we were home, this lady came, went to my mom's bedroom and went to bed. So when my mom came, she found someone sleeping. And she was like, who is my bed, in my bed? And I told her, it's the visitor Dad came with. So then there, a fight arose again. They started fighting. So they fought. Now, you know when a man wants to get married to a second wife, like it's like everybody now will embrace the new person who is coming in and forgetting the good
the first wife.
Of the first wife. So it's like there's another uncle of mine, people around the family ganged up on my mother. So my dad beat up my mom to an extent that she was unconscious. She was taken to St. Mary's Hospital. She was there, and I understand she lost her womb due to the fight.
What?
Yes. So after that, she was discharged, and she went to her parents' home. So my mom stayed to her parents' home for 18 years. So at this point, I was going to school. So after I did my class 8, I came to Nairobi, started living with the stepmother and my dad. And here, staying with the stepmother, it was not easy. So when it used to reach on Saturdays, she would tell me, you are not going anywhere. Whether you're having classes in school, you're not going anywhere. You're going to stay in the shop. So at times when we even used to have classes in school, I would not go to school. I would have to remain home, attend to the shop. So during this process, there's a guy who used to come to our shop. And we used to talk. So the guy started seducing me. So you know, through frustration, I fell for this. So you see, after that, now, this is when we were now very close with this guy. Because, you know, I used to feel now solace in this guy. Because I could go open up to him, tell him what is happening to me. And you know, during this time now, my mother is not there. Since they separated, she's up country at the parents' home. My siblings are up country, and I'm here with my stepmother. And my mom left our last born sister. She was very young. I think she was like 5-6 years. Now my sister had to, our uncles had to bring this last born of ours here. So we used to live with my stepmother and my younger sister here. And my other siblings were up country. Can you imagine when I used to go to school, my sister would be left at the doorstep without eating anything, no one attending to her. So when I used to come back from school, you could find my sister like amejipupulia. Yani, she was pathetic because she was very young. So you know, you come back from school, you start cleaning the house, taking care of this baby. It was a mess. Now, at this time, my stepmother brought in a daughter, and she used to lie that it's her daughter, but it was her brother's daughter. So, according to me, I used to know that this is her daughter, so I could handle her the way I would handle my sister. Because now I used to see, now this is my sibling. But at some point, you know, when she buys something, she comes in the house even with something, she'll buy her daughter only. So, you know, when I was given my transport, I could save to come at least to buy even a mandazi for my sister. So it went like that to a point that there's a point my mom came and took my sister because the neighbors used to tell her. Because she used to come to Kibara to the brothers. So this one time she would sneak, come check on the baby. Because we were told if you are found talking even to your mother, you are not going to go to school. My dad used to tell us. Your own mother? Yes, I'm not going to pay school fees for you. So my mom would sneak, come and check on this my young sister, and then go. So the neighbors told her, instead of doing this, why can't you come take this girl? The baby is suffering. So she came and took my sister and went with her. So when my stepmother came in the evening, she found this girl not there. And again, I was beaten properly. I should produce the baby. Where is this girl? So there's another mama who told her, they used to be friends. So this lady told her mother normally comes here when you are not there. And today she came and they talked and she took the baby. Kengori, I'm telling you that day.
Again, you were beaten?
Yes. So I was like, I felt like, why don't I? Because this guy, the other guy that I used to talk to, I was like, I think I should run and go live with this guy. But again, I came and realized this guy was married. He was married. So I told him, I understand that you're married. He told me, no, I'm married, yes. But this lady is older than me. And she even have a very big son in class 7. And she's lying to me that it's a brother. But she doesn't know that I know. So I was like, are you sure? He told me, yes, I'm telling you the truth. So I was like, okay. So you see, now we were friends. So there's this one time I found him with my mother at the shop. I was like, how comes you guys are talking as if you know each other? He told me, I know your mom. See, she used to work, there's another clinic around there. My stepmother used to work there. She used to work in a clinic. I was like, yeah. So you know her? She said, yes, I know her. To my surprise, when my mom realized I'm talking to this guy, she was not even furious. I was like,
You're talking about your real mom?
My stepmother.
Oh, your stepmother.
Yeah, she was not even furious. So, you know, I used to have questions, but I was like, if I told this mama, is questioning everything I do. But about this guy, she's not saying anything. So when I found them talking the following weekend, there's another askari from Kilimani. They were like relatives from the same village. I found my stepmother with this askari. So she called me and told me, Janet, come and say hi to the visitor. I came and say hi and went inside. So and then she told me, go home, prepare dinner, I'm coming. So I left, I went home. When I went, I had someone knocking at the door. So when I went to open, it was this askari. She came home. I was shocked because I thought they were with my mother, stepmother. So I said, Karibu, she came in. So when he came in...
The police was a lady?
No, the guy.
The officer, okay.
It was a guy, he was a man. So when he came in, this man tried to rape me again.
Oh no.
So I was like, Kwani, what's happening? He told me, just keep quiet. You're a grown woman. There's nothing wrong. What we are going to do, I was like, you cannot do anything in this is my parents' house. We struggled to an extent that I ran off. I went to a neighbor's house. There's another lady neighbor who was a very good friend of mine. I went and tried to explain that to her. She was like, what? I told her, you know, I met this police with my stepmother in the shop. And then when I came, she came and he was trying to rape me. He was like, oh, now I don't know how I can help you because, you know, your mother, it's like maybe there's something they're planning with this guy. So when I ran from this lady, she told me, just go to the shop and tell her. When I went there, she was like, we ni mtu mkubwa, Janet. Ni nini yenye unataka yenye umeona hapo hujaiona na ufunge mdomo. I kept quiet. And I was so afraid. So, you know, this policeman kept on coming to our house. Kumbe this mama was like trying to fix me with the guy. And that's why she used to call me and call me names and tell me, we ni mama mkubwa, utoke kwa nyumba yangu. Because, you know, at some point when she was like insulting you, she could say, we ni mama mkubwa, umefika mahali unafaa hata kwenda kuolewa. I didn't know this is what she meant. So this guy, one time this guy came to our place and she was like, Janet, we ni mtu mkubwa sahi, kwa form 2. Mbona unaogopa? I was like, sitaki kushika mimba. And then the policeman told me, I'll take care of you. Don't worry. I was like, you're old enough to be my father. He was like, you are a big girl. You are not a small girl. So you know, this conversation went on to an extent that I went and shared to the other guy neighbor who we used to talk to. So this guy is like, he went and talked to my stepmother. And he told my stepmother, Janet, mi nataka kumuoa. So you see, that's when it's like the stepmother told the policeman to keep off.
Okay.
And it's like these two guys used to give my stepmother money because of me. So there's this one time, again, I don't know what I did in the house, and my stepmother slapped me, and I started nose bleeding. She told me to clean the windows. And I told her, when I came, I went to fetch water because Kibra, there was a shortage of water. I told her, nilikuja nikaenda kuchota maji. Chota maji kutoka saa 11 mpaka saa 2. I was like, it was a lot of work, and I found a very long queue. So she beat me up. I started nose bleeding. So when I tried to run away, I met this guy again at the doorstep. This other guy, our neighbor. She told me, nini tena? I tried to explain it to him again. He was like, now, what you do, I'm going to look for a house so that we go stay with you. I was like, much better. So at this time, kumbe they had separated with the wife because of the issue that she told me about the baby. He went and opened up to the wife, and they had like misunderstanding. So the guy went and got another house in Huruma. So he told me, nimepata nyumba, don't worry. So when weekend came, he told me, prepare your clothes, I'll come and pick you. So I ran away. I went to live with this guy. So when I went, we started staying with the guy. But he told me, you have to go to school. I was like, yeah, that's what I wanted. He told me, no, you have to go to school to Form 4 and get the certificate. At least for, by that time, we can get you something good to do, because the guy was working with Trust Bank. So he was very helpful. He even paid the school fees. He used to pay school fees for me and help me revise, do my homework. By the time I did my Form 4, I was pregnant. So I told him, you know, I'm pregnant, and me, I just want to continue with my education. He told me, don't worry. By the time you do it, your Form 4, your exams, no one will even realize you are pregnant. So I finished my exams. I came home. I gave birth to my son. And this guy was very helpful. He took me to college. I started college to a point that I finished college, but he died.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
He passed on?
He passed on.
Sorry.
But he passed on after I gave birth to the second born.
Okay.
I gave birth to my daughter now, second born. So during this time when he died, my stepmother here is spreading rumors that, you know, Janet is HIV positive. By that time, you know, HIV was like still new. So the rumors were all over. I was HIV and I was not. So this thing really traumatized me. I could not even go to our village because everyone in the village knew that I was HIV. So this one really broke my heart. But, you know, talking to people and again seeing where you come from, the marriage, and because even the stepmother and my dad's marriage was not even good. They were still fighting. So I felt like, hey, this one now, I need to start a life on my own. So I started staying alone after the death of the father of my kids. I started staying alone. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. There's my stepbrother, my older brother. He gave me a mattress and I started staying like that with my kids, without a sufuria, without anything. So we used to eat at my brother's place and I sleep in my house. So it went on like that to a point that I got a job as a cleaner at Mimosa Court apartment. I worked there, and then to a point that now I got a better place, just in Kibra, a place called Fort Jesus. I got a single room, but a nice place now, because now at least I was earning better money. At this point again, now my dad was sick, and then my stepmother was now frustrating my dad because it reached a point my dad lost his job. Now he was jobless. My stepmother, it's like he got married to my dad because of the money. He started frustrating my dad to an extent that my dad got stroke. So at this time I had gotten another job as a house help. I was staying in Lavington, and my boss was very good. He told me to come and stay with my kids at the SQ. So when I was working, there's a guy who came and told me, Janet, nimekuja kukuita, your dad is very sick. So when I went home, I found my dad in an empty house because the lady had already vanished with everything.
What?
Yes. And my dad had a stroke. His mouth was like, he could not even walk. We took him to Kenyatta. From Kenyatta, he stayed in Kenyatta almost like 3-4 months. And then we took him back to the village. So at this time, I had to talk my mom and bring them back together. So I brought my mom home. You see, now my mom was taking care of my dad. The person that you sent away. Now my mom was taking care of my dad. Here, my dad is very ill. When my mom came, she didn't know anything that was happening. Life was good because now, you know, I was working as a house girl. I was being paid well, and again I have a house in Kibra. So at least I'm okay. So I took my siblings, my 2 sisters, I started staying with them. At this point, this one sister, I took her to a tailoring school. And then this other sister had another job as a waiter here in town. So during this time, I was still working as a house help. I requested for a job for my stepbrother as a gardener there. He came in and I told me, when you come here, don't say that you're my brother. Because if they realize that you're a sibling, you can lose your job or I lose my job.
Sure.
So I told him, don't say you're my sibling. So that's how we worked. But you know, I think it's sibling rivalry. My stepbrother was like not happy with the way I was. You know, now he went and told my boss, Janet is stealing from you. Things didn't go well. I lost my job. I came back in Kibra. I was struggling again. But I went back to Mimosa Court and asked for a job again. They took me in. So I continued with a life like that. So this point now is when I met my second husband. So during this time, you know, you are frustrated, you are very young, because I lost my husband when I was 22 and a mother of 2. Now you see, I'm still very young. I've never experienced life. I've never even hang out like a teenager would do. So at this time, with the frustration of life and friends, now I've met new friends here. So there's another neighbor of mine, a friend also. She was a single parent also, almost my age. She told me, Janet, stop closing yourself in the house all the time. Let's go out. So we started going out, you know, hanging out. We go to club. That's where I met my ex-hubby. So during this time, you know, I was so lonely. Now I found love. And the guy,
you were young.
Yeah, and I was young.
Yes.
So after 5 years, I met this guy. I fell in love. Initially, I was scared because one of my friends know him. My friend was telling me, Jano, this guy is married. And again, this guy, you know, these tour guide people, this guy is a womanizer. Stay off. I was like, no. I think the guy is good to me. He's helping me. He was like, you know, at some point this guy was married to a Mzungu. I was like, no. You know, when you're in love, you don't want to hear anything.
The red flags look orange.
Exactly. So at this time, I was in love, I may say. And the guy, maybe he was lying, he's in love, but to me, I felt like we were in love. And then I was like, I brought in the question of like, now, since you're married, I feel like it won't be easy for us. He was like, don't worry about that. At this point, the first date we went, I got pregnant. So when I got pregnant, I didn't know I was pregnant. After 3 months, I was very sick. I went to the hospital. I was told it was malaria. I was treated for malaria. I was like, hey, the malaria is not even going. So I went back to the hospital and I was told to do the pregnancy test. That's why I was told you are pregnant. I was so scared. I'm a mother of 2.
Now?
And I'm the sole breadwinner of my family. Now I'm pregnant with a married man. I was scared. But I was like, I'll have to abort this. But during this process, you know, after the other relationship, there's another guy that I used to meet before I met this guy. We were friends, but he was also married. So I was like, hey, nikaa nimerogwa.
I'm only attracting married men.
Married men. But this guy again, the other guy, was madly in love with me again. And he was like, I want to marry you. He was married. To a point that with him, he was not even hiding anything. He would even tell the wife, I'm in love with that lady and I'm going to marry her. It was a mess because we were in a neighborhood. We were not even far. So when I met this other guy, he told me, you know that guy, that one is a womanizer. He even taken people's wives and house girls, stay away from him. I was like, by the way, little did I know, this is just a man like the other one. They're just the same. So I decided to settle up with this tour guy because I was pregnant for him. And the other guy realized that Janet is pregnant. He gave me 10,000. He told me, go and abort that thing because I told you I'm marrying you. He gave me 10,000. And those days, you know, 10,000, 2 or 3, no, 2 or 4, 2 or 5. 10,000 was a lot of money. I stayed with that money in the house like a week. And when he came, he told me, did you do that? I said, no. Why? Because I don't want to do that. I've never done that and I'm scared. He told me then, can I invite you for a cup of coffee? I said, why? He said, no, we just need to talk. So he invited me. We went in town. But it was in the evening. He told me, don't worry, I'll just go a place. I know you're pregnant. You don't want to go to a noisy place. I'll take you to a very quiet place. I was like, okay. He booked a hotel in town. We went. Because at the back of my mind, I knew we were going to discuss. So when we went, he started asking me, why didn't you refuse to abort that kid? I was like, because I cannot. Why? Because I've never done something like that and I'm scared. I was beaten up. He beat me up because he told me, you know, you've wasted me, you made me fight with my wife, and now here you are pregnant with someone else's pregnancy. It was bad again. I came and shared it with the cousin of my boyfriend now because they were friends. I was like, hey, you are working with so-and-so, and you know, he called me somewhere and he beat me up. He went and shared to the one of the pregnancy. So this guy went and put him off. Told me, you know.
It was dramatic.
Yeah.
All dramatic for you.
Imagine. But again, I felt happy because he stood by me. I was like, anyway, I was scared for him, but since he stood up with me, I think I'll go with him. So that's why I ended up and decided to keep the pregnancy. So I brought my mom here. It was during August holidays. So I had to share with my mom. I told my mom, you know, I'm pregnant. And I think I'll have to keep this pregnancy because I think I need to get married. The first question my mom asked me, is the guy married? I was like, yes. He told me, just forget about that. I was like, Mom, but I'm pregnant. He told me, you can take care of your kid. I know you're a strong woman, you're a hard-working woman, you'll take care of your kids. Forget about that married man. I was like, Mom, think like this. I'm a mother of 2. These 2 kids, the dad died. Now I'm pregnant. And again, I don't get married to this guy. At my age, I'll still end up getting someone else. Do you want to tell me again, when I get someone else, I'll get pregnant for him, Mom? It won't work with me. My mom told me, listen, Janet, I'm telling you what I know. With a married man, just keep off. And you know, I think with the situation that I was in, I was like, anyway, let me just keep the pregnancy and I'll see the way forward. I didn't even share it with the man. I didn't tell him.
You didn't tell him that you were pregnant?
No, I told him I'm pregnant, but I didn't tell him my mom is against it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I didn't tell him that my mom is against our relationship. So we continued like that to an extent that now I was approaching my due date to deliver. So he called his wife from up country. And you know, he told me, you know, my wife did not go to school well. Now you are at least enlightened and you did hotel management, and me and my line of duty, we can partner up because he had started his office, although he was employed. How he told me that, you know, I have a new company I started over tour, so we can work together. But the only thing I need from you, Janet, is respect for my wife. I was like, that's no problem. So he brought the wife from up country. He introduced us.
You're now a second wife?
Yes. After doing the introduction, because he called me to his house and he told me, sit down. He was like, Mama Flani, this is so and so. And Janet, this is my wife. And both of you are my family. So that's how he introduced. And he told the wife that, you know, Janet is expecting. Now we are going to be one family. You know, the lady didn't utter a word. She just kept quiet. So we sat there, the TV was on, everybody was like now busy on the TV. And then all of a sudden, the guy told us, now, I'm leaving you, the 2 of you, you talk, mwelewane. Then he left. So we sat there, everybody was just busy on TV, nobody was talking to each other.
It was tense.
But I was tense, I was even shaking because I didn't know what's happening, what's going to happen here. I was so shaking, I was so scared. But I stayed there like 45 minutes to 1 hour, I think so. And then I told her, mi nimeenda. She was like, sawa. Then I left. So when I left, I called the guy, I told him, hey, mi nimeenda. He was like, mmeongea? I told him, no, hatujaongea. Kila mtu alinyamaza. Kama mjaongea mtaelewana aje? I was like, mi nimeogopa. Naogopa nini? I was like, hey, mi nimeogopa. I was like, okay, bora mmejuana. I was like, sawa. So when I gave birth, this lady, it happened that she came. And then the husband told him, najua Janet alijifungua. She came to my house. I was like, Janet sasa? I was like, poa. Ebu tuone mgeni. I brought the baby. And then she was like, okay, sawa. So I was like, hey, this is weird,
It's
but
unusual.
yeah, but it's okay. Then we started talking, because we were in the neighborhood, we would meet and like, Mama Flani sasa poa, Janet habari. We were friends, but not that close. We could talk. So it went on like that, and then the man told me, you know, since you gave birth, and in that house, according to our culture, I cannot come to your house because your mom once slept in your house. I'm going to look for a house. You are going to move from that house to another place. I was like, sawa. He moved me from Kibra to Kawangware. I stayed in Kawangware. So at that point, I lost my job. So I told him, hey, it was this during 2007. I lost my job. So I told me, hey, nimepoteza job. Na sasa, the kids coming from Kawangware, commuting to Kibra because they were going to Olympic. I feel like it's not going to be easy with me because of the transport and all that, and I'm not working. And by this time, you know, during post-election, he also lost his job. He was not financially stable. So he told me, what you're going to do, you're going to look for a house in Kibra again and come back. Because for the kids. I looked for a house. You can imagine I was living in a very nice house. It was a 1-bedroom, a nice house. I had to come back to Kibra to a Mabati house because of the kids. So when we were staying there, there's another neighborhood house. It was vacated. So I told him, kuna very nice house here. It's empty. See, you come and see if you can take this house for us. He told me, okay, I'll come. So when he came, it was a 2-bedroom, and behind it was an SQ 1-bedroom. He told me, I think I'm going to pay for this house. I told him, you know, the 2-bedroom is 15,000 and 1-bedroom is 10. He said, yes, I'll pay for the both houses. Said, both? Yeah. So when he paid, he moved the family from the other side to this house. So he told me, you will be staying in a 1-bedroom and the other family will be in 2-bedroom. So
you're staying together?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how you are living now. So the wife came. According to the Luo culture, you know, she has to come and be the first one to sleep in this new house. So she came. So we started living together as one big family. So during this time, this is now how I got to know this mama now better and the kids. Because, you know, when I moved in now, I told him, you know, now you have to bring your kids. I'll live with them here. There are those who are living up country. So I started to live with all the kids because the first wife had 7 kids. And me, my 2 kids. And these
and
are
now the third one. Those are 10.
Those are 10.
Yes.
Plus the 2 kids from her sister. There's another late sister of hers. He had 2, a daughter and a son. And then the brother had 2 again, a son and a daughter.
Yeah, that was a classroom.
40. There used to be 15. Even ugali I used to cook on a jiko na ile mwiko ya hivi. It was bad. You know, my friends used to laugh at me. They were like, "Jano hata kama." I was like, there's
mapenzi wewe.
Mapenzi wewe. So, you know, when you'll come to my place, you'll think it's a children's home.
It's like a daycare.
Yes. At this time, I used to have kids in high school. Now my daughter and my son, here they're in high school. And then these guys, he used to have firstborn, second and third in high school. We used to have like 7 kids in high school. And I'm the only person who's visiting, doing the visiting, going to check on the kids. Me. The lady is up country, the first wife is up country. Kengori, I used to overwork. At this time again, I'm pregnant for my second kid.
The fourth kid.
Yeah. Things were tough. This is when I came to know the true colors of this guy. The frustration started because her first daughter never liked me from the word go. I tried to be friends with her, but it's like, you know, a stepmother will always remain a stepmother, and you know, someone's child will always remain someone's child. This girl never liked me from the word go. I tried all means, or even buying to present, you give it to her. She never liked me. So there's this one point, my husband was away on safari. And we used to have a house girl also. So I used to tell them, during the day the house girl is working. When you come back from school, please at least clean the kitchen utensil. After eating, you clear the table, please. You try and help this girl. So there's this one time, it was her duty. She was supposed to wash the utensils. So she refused. Me as a mother, I confronted her. I told her, when it comes during your time, you don't want to clean the utensils. What's wrong with you? She said, sitaosha. And you know, me as a mother, and this is a small girl, I confronted her to a point that I pushed her in the bedroom and I told her, niambia leo ni nini unatakaga? Ni nini inaendelea? She didn't even utter a word. She told me, sitaosha. And you know, I wanted to slap her, but again I felt like, what? This one is going to put you in trouble again. So I hold her and I shake her. Siku moja nitakuchapa. And I left her like that. She cried. She cried the whole night. So the following day when the dad came, when the dad arrived, she started crying again. She was in Form 2, Form 3. So he sat us round because it was his norm. When he come back from safari, he will sit all of you in the evening and you start sharing, hey, huku kulikuwa aje, nini ilifanyika, so everybody will share. Kulienda hivi, so the girl said, Daddy, mimi mami alinipiga bure. Huh? Alikupiga kwa nini? So I was like, siwacha hata mimi niongee. Who told you to slap my daughter? I told you I did not slap her. I swear before God. And up to today, I always swear I did not touch those kids. You know, you can shout, but I used to get scared. I used to be afraid of even slapping them. I told him I did not touch her. It went so bad. I was beaten in front of the kids seated like this.
Really?
I was beaten and I was pregnant. He beat me up properly.
Now this looks like a repeat of what was happening to you when you were young.
Yes. It was bad. To an extent, I was trying to run away and I dislocated my leg here. So the following day I called a friend of mine in church. There's a lady friend of mine in church who we were very close because I used to share with her what was happening here. Little did I know, this lady is a friend to my co-wife. They were very close. And everything that was happening in my house, this woman used to call my co-wife. So I didn't know she was pretending to be my friend. It went on like that. So when I called her and I told her, nimeumia. And I was like, what happened? I was like, hey, you know, so and so was beating me up. So I was trying to run and I felt like I dislocated my leg. So she came and tried to help me, like giving me first aid. So I tried to explain to her what happened. I didn't know she was like, to me I feel like now is when I feel like she was like mocking me. So it went on like that. I gave birth. But during this pregnancy time, the daughter had finished Form 4. So I told my husband, because by that time, you know, I had lost my job. I didn't have a job. And at church, we used to have a group. We had started a shop, a church shop. So they gave me a mandate to take care of this shop. It was a clothes shop. I used to go to Isili, bring clothes and sell. So I told him, I'm going to Isili. Give me even 2,000 or 3,000, I go shop baby's clothes. He told me I don't have money. But in the evening when we were seated, he gave the daughter 5,000. He told her, wende ununue nguo na viatu, kesho tunaenda airport na wewe. I was like, but I asked for only 2,000, you told me you don't have money. So I felt like he did like that for me to feel bad. It's like that. So when I went to give birth, I didn't have anything. I took a shawl, a towel, clothes, receiver clothes in the shop, this church shop. The clothes that I wore, I used when I gave birth. And you know, I wrote in the book because it was like nakopa. And when I gave birth, by that time, he didn't even have money also because things were very tough. So I understand even the church came through for us. I came back home. So when I came back home, things were not easy. You know, this time I even went to bed, empty stomach. And
the newborn?
Yes, with a newborn. And you know, the church I was going, I would say it's a spiritual church. So before I even got this second born, I got a miscarriage in between. So this was like mtoto wa yani niliombewa. I got pregnant. So I was told, when you give birth, no one should cook for you, no one should hold the baby until 3 weeks are over. So after, when I came back from the hospital, I cook for myself, do everything for myself without the help of anyone. But there's no even food. So I could even call my friends to at least give me something. At this time, I remember the kids were sent home. There were 4 kids who were sent home for school fees. I called a friend, a lady friend of mine. he gave us 50,000 to pay school fees for the kids. Things were not easy. Things were very tough. It reached a point we went up country. So when we went up country, I told him, you know, me sleeping in the kitchen, my co-wife's kitchen, it doesn't fit well. Why don't you build me a small house? He told me, just be patient, I'll build for you a house. So during this process, because he's working with the Wazungus, I got a job with some of his friends. So they were having an NGO. I was given a job and I was being paid very well. So I had my own money. So came December, when we went up country, I told him, I have my own money. Now we can go home and build. He told me, I don't have money. You cannot build a house of your own by yourself. So we went home again. We came back without building a house. And again, another December came when we went home.
That's a year.
Yeah, after
a year.
Now we used to go the August and December, August and December.
Okay.
So this one was after a year again. So when we went up country, I told him, now, this time if I go back Nairobi without a house, I'll never come back again. So he told me, okay, fine. Whatever you have and whatever I have, we are going to put together and build a house. So we started a house. We built a house, a semi-permanent. So by that time, you know, the only thing we managed to do was the structure and the mud and the iron sheet and the door. Bas, and we came back Nairobi. So when we came back, after like 2 years, I told him, I have a chama. I have some money. I want to go and make that house because it doesn't look well. I want to go and plaster it out. So he told me, fine. And you know, during this time now, since I'm working with an NGO, there's one of our bosses. We shared during the post-election when Kibera was having chaos again. So I had written in Facebook, gunshot all over, even we have bullet cartridges in our compound. It's scary. So this Mzungu called and they were like, what am I seeing here? I told her, yeah, that is what is happening. Why don't you guys vacate from that place and you go look for a better place? We were like, you see, this is the decent place we can live here in Kibra and a place that we can afford. So she said, it was the father of my boss. Just look for a house, I'll pay for you guys. So we went and looked for a house. But when I shared with my husband, he told me, no, forget about it. Those guys normally say like that, and they will not do it. I was like, he told me yesterday, and he repeated it again today in the message. I was like, okay, go and look for a house. So we went in Lavington. We didn't find a house. We went in Jamhuri. We didn't find. So I told him, why don't we go to Lavington Mall? There are this chart that they normally advertise houses. We went and we saw a house in Mountain View. So we went there, we got that house. So I took a video pictures, we sent them to him. And he said, perfect. Do you like it? I said, yes, I like it. Then fine, I'm sending money. So he sent money. It was a very nice house, Kingori. For the first time, I've never lived in a nice place like that. It was a huge house. So the Mzungu sent the money. It was 120 per month. We vacated. So when we were in the process of vacating, my husband was on safari. He told me, you are not going to move in that house alone until Mama Flani come before, first in the house, and then you'll go in the house.
The first wife.
Yeah, and the culture in Luos. I was like, okay. So since he was on safari, he told me, you can just go with the kids and move with the things, but stay in the SQ until Mama Flani come for the first time in the house, then you'll come in the house. I was like, sawa. Kengori, you know, there are red flags that normally show up, but we keep ignoring. So here now, Mama came. I'm in the SQ. 2 weeks. And I'm the one who came, you know, pangaing that house. It was hectic. Now she's the boss in the house. I was like, okay. 2 weeks, I was like, I told this guy, do I keep on staying in the SQ? Like, if you want to come, you can come. I was
if
like,
you want.
If I want to come, what do you mean if I want? I felt so bad, but I was like, anyway, I came in this house. And you know, during this time, things were not okay because it was fights.
Were you living in the same house?
We were living in the same house. Yeah. So at some point, I talked to my bosses. I told them, you know, I was a field manager. Told them, hey, you know, going around to these schools, checking on the kids, transport, it's too much on my side. I think I need a car. So they sent him money to purchase a car. So he got me a Noah. So when he got me a Noah, there's this one point in the morning, my son had a toothache, this small boy. So I was taking him to the doctor. You know, we were not talking. Things were not okay in the house. So in the morning, he took the car key and kept them. So when we were leaving, I told the boy, "Enda ulete key." He was like, "There's no key there." So when I went and asked him, "Where is the key? Why are you hiding the key? That car is not yours." He was like, "Janet, if you're not talking to me, I'm not giving you the key." We confronted each other. Again, I was beaten up. So I ran away. I went to my brother's place. I stayed there. So since we go to church on Saturday. So Friday is preparation day. So I told my stepbrother, "Hey, I cannot stay with this kid here today, Friday. Let me take them back." So when I went back, I found a separation letter. Yeah, he brought me a separation letter. So when I read that separation letter for the first time, I've never involved myself in police or court issue. I got panicked. I panicked. But before I reached the house, there's someone who called me and told me, "Janet, we are Steve's advocate. We are calling in to tell you that bring those kids back to their matrimonial home." I was like, "Who are you?" "We are Steve's advocate." I brushed it off. But when I reached home, that's when I found this letter. I was so scared. So I started crying. I was like, "Why are you giving me a separation letter?" He told me, "Janet, I'm tired. I'm tired." I told him, "Why?" "I'm tired. I'm done with you."
And that is after how long? After how many years of marriage?
After 15 years.
Oh.
Yeah, after 15 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So this separation letter is the one that will come to end your 15 years of marriage?
Can you imagine?
Okay.
But this one, that was a first separation, because I remember he gave me the second one. That was the first one. I think by that time it was like 14 years marriage. So when I got that, 13 years, when I got that letter, I broke up. I broke down. I cried. And it was on a Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. People are supposed to go to church. I didn't go to church. So they went to church. I was left in the house crying. But at some point when I called my brother, he told me, "Why don't you go and report it?" My stepbrother, he told me, "Go and report that issue and see how they can help you out." So I went to Kabete police station and I met another lady there. She told me, "Stop crying. Hakuna mtu atakunyang'anya watoto. This is not an issue. I think maybe he was just doing that to scare you up." I was like, "No, this is a letter from an advocate." She told me, "No, he cannot just take your kids away from you without proper reason." So they wrote me an OB and told me to go back and wait and see his reaction. So I went back home. So after church, they came back. Around 7, I had people singing. Church people were coming. Kumbe he went and reported this matter in church. So the church people came. And you know, during this commotion of marriage and everything, I used to share a lot with some of church people, telling them, "Hey, this guy is doing 1, 2, 3. At some point, I even got the marriage certificate, the one that he was married with a Mzungu. And he told me, "Why is that an issue to you?" "Yes, I was married, but so many years back." I was like, "If you are married, does your wife even know you have a legal marriage certificate with this Mzungu?" It was like, "That is none of your business." And you know, during this time, I used to peruse his things. There's another small suitcase. He used to keep his things. So that's where I used to open. I got hold of this marriage certificate. A lot of things were in this suitcase. So at some point, I took the phone number of this Mzungu and saved it on my phone. So after this commotion and all this marriage, separation letter and all that, when the church people came in, so they tried to talk to us. And I shared with them what is happening. But to my surprise, you know, they used to tell us, jitakase, kujitakase, and like talk out what is eating you up. So you jitakasa, thinking that
uongei kutoke,
that is. But it never helped us. It was never of help to us at all. So there's this one time I called this lady in church, a friend of mine, and I was like, this is what is happening. And she was like, you know, itakuwa tu sawa. But initially, before this, there's another girl in his office that she was a sister to my friend. A friend who helped me get a school to my daughter, high school. I got messages on my husband's phone and photos they had taken with this girl. And it's like they were somewhere on a date. So the girl was saying, thank you so much for everything. I appreciate every bit of it. I hope we'll do it again. You see?
What are they doing it again?
Tell me. Ebu tell me. And again, she was like, this girl was calling my husband babe. And my husband was calling this girl babe. And when I confronted him, he told me, you know, I haven't paid them for like 3 months. You know, I'm trying to play along with her. I was like, you're playing along with her. And she has taken photos with you in your car. And you are like somewhere with her. She brushed that off.
And was he calling you babe?
I asked him, why is she calling you babe and you're calling her babe? Janet, some things, you take things serious that they're not even worth
And
your
was
time.
he calling you babe?
Never.
Was calling you Janet?
Janet.
Oh, okay.
And mark you, this guy was 15 years older than me. So, you know, you are like, I'm in love. You don't want to even overlook the age. So when I tried to share this with this friend of mine in church, I didn't know she was like celebrating about our marriage scrambling. And before this lady also, the husband were having issue before that, to an extent that the husband decided to leave. She told me, Janet, so-and-so are sleeping with your husband is sleeping with my wife. And we used to say, this guy is a drunkard. No, huyu ni mlevi, anaongeanga vitu hakuna. Because the guy, to a point that they could fight with the wife and tell her, those church people are sleeping with you. And you know, people were like, this guy is drunkard. Huyu ni mlevi tu. But now is when I was trying to join the dots, and I was like, kumbe there was something going on with this. I did not see. Even people in church used to tell me, you see this woman you are calling your friend, she's not your friend. Because at some point with this organization, I even connected this lady to our organization, and they were supporting her kids through school fees. To a point, even me myself, I paid for the daughter when she was in Form 3, 22,000.
You are so close. We
were very close. So I remember I was being warned with people in church, but I was like, there's nothing like that.
They're jealous of our friendship.
Yes. Now you see this time when church people came to the house to try and talk things out. So when I shared her, she was like, Janet, you know, when mkali sana, try to calm down. You know, you are too much on him. Try him to poa kidogo. I was like, hey, but there are things that this guy is doing which are not even adding up. So when we went up country, I tried to share this with the wife. I told her, you know, so-and-so is doing this and this. She was like, you know, in Luo, it sounds very funny. You're like, why are you following up on the man, what a man is doing? Why don't you mind your own business?
No, that is the first wife.
Yes. And again, she was like, she told me in Luo, do you think I was stupid that I decided to stay in the village? I was like, oh, I was not stupid. You are not stupid. But I brushed that off. So when I had met my house, I did the plaster, everything. The house was okay. I put tiles. So he started telling me to go and live in the village. I told him I cannot leave my job and go live in the village. I didn't know it was, my marriage was ending. So you see, after this separation letter, the church people came, tried to talk things out. They prayed and they told us to forget about everything. And we came back together again. Things were okay. After a very short while. So again, we continued like that. I kept on getting messages in his phone. And you know, when you read messages, you don't want to keep telling him every day. They're eating you up inside, and you don't want to say them. Because everybody is like, had already painted me and the bad person here. And you know, he was a church elder in the church. So when it reached a point that I told him, now I think I've had enough of this. I even shared it with my bosses. Told them I feel like this is just too much. I just want to get out of this house. But I want to prepare myself. I look for a small place that I can afford, then I'll leave. So during this process, I was quiet. I never asked anything. So we stayed there. I would cook, iron, do everything, but bed issues, no. So this one pissed him off. So he came and told me, Janet, if you're not going to submit to, like, you are my wife or anything, leave my house. I told him I'm planning to leave because it was in November. I'll leave in January. Come January, I'll leave. But please just give me time. Little did I know, he went and sent me a separation letter again on my phone. So it was on a Saturday I had gone to work. So when I opened my phone, I found a document. Opened it up, it was separation letter again. I came back home running. So when I came home, I started packing. I packed, and then I'm packing and I don't know where I'm going. So I called my cousin. I told her, he was like, what's happening? I told her, you know, I've been sent a separation letter. So I think this time around, I don't want to talk to anyone. Let me just leave. So I told her, I don't have money. Please, if you have money on your phone, just send me. I'll refund that money on Monday. So she sent me 20,000. So that's how I called someone and told them to get me a house and left.
Just like that?
Yes. So when I left, now is when I'm starting to hear stories that Janet was malaya. Janet alikuwa anafanya 1, 2, 3. Kengori, I stayed in this marriage knowing that I was married. And again, the kind of things that I went through. And at this point in this marriage, you know, during this time, things were not even okay. And he was not even getting along with my son. He never liked my son.
The firstborn? The
firstborn. So, yes, he used to pay school fees. At some point, he'll tell you, I don't have money. But I used to play along as a mother. And at least here and there pay the school fees when things got tough. They were never even good of friends. To an extent that he would say, because I think my son also was traumatized because my son also went to almost the similar thing that happened to me. So, and he never shared it with me. I came to notice about this issue when we had moved from Kibera to Mountain View. That's when I came across a letter my son had written. So I was like, this happened to you and you never even told me.
What was the content?
One of my sisters molested my son.
Oh no.
And he never shared it with anyone. He never shared. I came to know about this through this letter.
Okay.
So I think that's when I used to say, my son was so quiet, he never used to talk to anyone. So this is when I came and shared it with my daughter, and I was like, this is why so-and-so doesn't talk to people. I think so, this is why he was so like traumatized and he never wanted to share it with anyone. So I tried to share it with another sister of mine. I told her, this is what so-and-so did to my son. So I came and sat down. And it was like, his story was like repeating itself through, from my son, what happened to me, to my son. My husband never liked my son. After this separation, this is when he keep on calling my son, talking to him, and talking against me through my son.
How now?
I don't understand. My son,
So he wants your son to dislike you?
Exactly. And you know, it's like it worked with him.
It did?
Yes. We are not.
You're not in good terms?
I'm not talking to my son. It's 1 year down the line now.
How old is he?
He's 27.
His mind has been poisoned?
Yes. We are not talking. We are not talking, and that's what breaks me a lot. Breaks me so much. Because, you know, my son impregnated someone. There's another girl that he impregnated, and he had refused. And I tried to talk to him, and he accepted the pregnancy. And I took care of this girl to an extent that this girl went and gave birth to a baby boy. That's when my son took them in. After that, before he came pick the family, he was so furious, and I didn't know what's happening with him. He was not talking to anyone. 3 days in my house, he was not even talking to me. So there's this one time I came and I was like, nini nakufanya? The only thing he told me that, we mama unapenda kelele. Unapenda kelele sana. So I was like, kama napenda kelele, then leave my house. Because I don't understand. I've not even wronged you. And you're not even talking to me. And when I'm asking you what is happening, you're telling me napenda kelele. I know at some point maybe I'm not perfect. I have my shortcomings. But tell me, what have I done to you? You left this girl in the hospital. I took care of her 7 good days. I discharged her, came back in the house with her. And you're telling me napenda kelele. And that's how we crossed line with my son. He was furious because, you know, obvious. I uttered words that maybe they were harsh to him, and he also uttered things that were harsh to me. And I told him, just leave my house and never come back again. So he left. So after a while, he called my daughter and told my daughter, my daughter called him, and I was like, mbona una behave hivi? Why are you behaving like that to mommy? He was like, achanini na mimi. Me, I know my dad died and I'm alone in this world.
What?
Yes. And then after some time again, after like 3-4 months, my daughter called him again, because there's another woman who called me and told me, unajua, your son has sent away the girl and the baby, and I'm staying with them, and I'm not even related with this girl. I went and picked the girl and the baby. So when I came with this girl, I stayed with this girl 3 good months. My son was not even talking. I tried calling him, he was not picking. He blocked me everywhere. So I called my daughter and told her, just call him and ask him, what is he thinking with the baby? Because I'm here with the baby, I'm jobless, I don't have money. What do I do with this baby? He told my daughter, mwambie ajishughulishe na maisha yake, achane na mimi. And then my daughter was like, you know, mommy is jobless now. He doesn't have money. And with the mzigo of the baby and this girl, what do you expect her to do? What she told my daughter, she told that the moment utarealize your mama, utoe mguu yako kwa huyo mama, ndo utakuwa na future. Huyo mama ana life.
That is your son? That
is me. So I was like, huyo mama ana life. And you know, my daughter was like, mimi nitakuripotia exactly vile nimeambiwa. Amesema huyo mama ana life, na niachane na wewe ndo nikuwe na future. He told my daughter, ule mzae alinifungua macho. Kama sio mzae singeona. Ule mzae alinifungua macho. So I was like, what did I do to my daughter? To my son? Because I tried to talk to him and ask him, kuna shida mahali. Kama kuna shida niambie. He doesn't talk to me. This is a boy that I paid school fees. And at some point, when he was about to graduate, he ate all the school fees. He did not pay school fees. I just kept quiet. But this is a boy now who is calling me ule mama. It pains me so much, Kimori.
Understandably so.
It pains me because...
For a mom.
If I remember what I've gone through, and I decided to stay in that marriage because of my kids. Because I was like, I have 2 kids. I'm pregnant. I cannot leave this marriage again, go get another marriage. And I ended up in this marriage because I lost my previous husband. I did not get into this marriage because I wanted it. So, and the painful part of it is the cheating husband who called himself a pastor. He called himself a church person, and he's a cheat. And what pains me more is the 15 years he wasted me. And I took care of his family without even overlooking that this is a huge family. I didn't even care about that.
So, a few questions. You said that you found a marriage certificate. So were you the third wife, or?
Now, I was the third wife. Yeah, according to him, because he had this first wife up country, and then this Muzungu lady.
Muzungu was in between? In between. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you find out about your friend, who you were very close to, and your husband, apart from the declarations of her drunk husband? Okay.
Well, I found out about this friend of mine through someone in church who was very close to her. There's another boy who was very close to her. He used to tell me, you know, so and so always call Baba Nani, we go lunch for lunch in her house. And there's someone in church who used to see them. And again, during these safaris, when we used to go with this organization, I used to tag along this lady and we go to them with safari. So, you know, when you're on safari, you'll see these people together. So someone saw them when we were on safari, and I was like, hey, Jano, I saw your husband and so, but I didn't like in a position. I was like, no, you know, today is Friday. They were talking about church thing.
You were too trusting.
I was too trusting. And I never imagined that this guy can cheat on me, because that was me. But at the back of my mind, I didn't notice I'm the third wife. So he can easily get the fourth wife. Yes.
Wow. So what are you doing currently?
Okay, currently, I'm just hustling. I used to sell shoes in Kikomba, but I lost my business. Yeah. You know, during this time I was working, I had saved some money. So I was working because I was a field manager and I used to have some time. So I would go to Kikomba to sell shoes. And I lost my job because I used like part of money from my work to do this business. But I was conned. I lost my money through this business. And during this time, that is when I lost my job. Yes.
So what is your trade?
I'm selling shoes.
Not that one. What is it that you are doing in this organization? What are the skills that you are bringing on the table?
I was working as a field manager. Okay. I was taking care of the sponsored kids. I was the one who was in charge, paying school fees, going around, ensuring that the kids are settled and all the school fees are paid and they're okay. And the organization used to send money direct to me.
Okay.
Yes.
How about your 4 children? At least we know the firstborn is 27, is done with education. How about the other 3?
Even my daughter is 26 now, and she already graduated. Yeah, she did tourism.
Okay.
Yeah, she's jobless. But just the other day she got something small. She's just holding up on that, but she's looking for a job. Okay. Yeah. And then my third daughter is in Form 3, Form 4. She's doing her exams this year. Okay. And then my last born is in grade 9. Okay. Yes.
You have really, really tried.
Yes.
And we appreciate your time to talk to us about the 15 years that you feel. Do you feel like you were cheated or you were lied to?
The essence of me, okay, according to me, I was lied to. I was taken for a ride, and that's the painful part of it, because you cannot waste me for all these 15 years, and I've even tried to look around what I did. I don't find my mistake. I've never found my mistake anywhere there. I never cheated on this guy, And I always say that God is my witness. When I left that house, that's when I felt like I need to get someone. I met a friend also who was a widow, because I used to say, this time round, if I get a man, I need a widow.
A widower.
A widower, I mean, a widower. I don't want someone who is a divorcee. I don't want a married man. So this guy was a widower. He lost his wife. I tried things, but I found out like it's like jumping from a frying pan to the. They normally say jumping from a frying pan to the
fire.
To the fire. I was like, let me keep off. Let me just be.
Do you want to tell us about it more? Well, how was it a fire?
It was a fire because this one now, you know, he used to have a club. He owned a club, and in this club, he told me to get him a manager. I got him a manager. There's a friend of mine who used to own a club, but he was jobless and he lost her business. So I connected them. So she was the manager there. So this friend of mine used to tell me, hey, Jano, I know you're in love with this guy, and this guy loves you, yes, but he's a cheat. I was like, no way. And mark you, he had already engaged me. He even introduced me to the mother and the family. You
had an engagement ring?
I had an engagement ring.
At least for the... was it the first time that you're wearing a ring?
For the first time, and I was so excited, you can imagine. And it was a very nice ring. So I was so excited. I was like, for the first time, and he told me, I'm going to wed you. We need to do a very nice wedding. I was so excited. But the problem was, anyone who wanted to work in this club, I think, what is it called? A ticket to you getting a job is to
sleep with him.
Yes. So, you know, my friend told me that, and I was like, So there's this time we had, we were there at the club, and then we left. So I was at his place. So his phone rang, and it was one of his staffs. So I was like, hey, so-and-so is going to pick up the call, because his phone didn't have a password. So you I'll pick the call. And I talked to the guy, and I was like, hey, kuna drinks limeleta, you know, the guy is not picking. I was like, he's taking a shower, just give him a few minutes. So after that, I placed the phone. You know, a woman thing, I continue scrolling the phone. So kidogo, the messages, pip, pip. I saw a message. So there's this one person, she sent like 5 messages. So I was curious. I wanted to see this message. So I clicked on that message. What I saw.
What did you see?
What I saw, Kengori.
No, we are curious to know. What did you see?
There's a lady who had sent her nudes.
Oh.
This lady, it's one of the customers that I once met in the club.
And then there she is.
And when I met this lady, I was curious, because he was on my table, and she was there. She was like, Mama, uko sawa? And this one guy who called me babe, and he was proud of calling me babe anywhere, even up country, in the family meeting. Like, babe, are you okay? I was like, babe, uko sawa? Kumbe, uko sawa? And he was trying to entertain this other lady. So when I clicked on this picture, I realized this is the same lady that I saw. I was like, God, sina nyota ya mapenzi sasa. Sina nyota ya ndoa.
Pole Janet.
Sina nyota, sina.
Pole.
So that's how I came to realize about him. And his cheating habits. Although my friend used to tell me, I was like, hey, Jano, mistake kuambia sana.
You find out you're on your own.
But this is not the right guy for you, because my friend knows me very well. You say, hey, mimi vile nakujua. Huyu mtu achana naye. Yeah.
Wow. And yeah, that was from the frying pan to the fire.
Yes.
You met things that you had never seen before.
I was like, where? Hii ni moto sasa. Tafadhali ile ingine. Lakini this one, I was like, where? This one is serious. So that's where I am. But you know, I had to cut it short because I didn't want to go into details. Because in between here things that happened, I was like, we, hata kama ndio ndoa, afadhali Mungu angeacha hata kunintroduce like to this guy. Because what I've went through, have you ever sacrificed yourself to an extent that you're trying to please almost the whole family so that they appreciate you, but no one is appreciating you. No one is even noticing what you are doing.
So have you locked that door, like you'll never get married or you'll never date? Because
one thing I always say, at the moment I'm not dating. I'm not seeing anyone. It's only me, my kids. But I'm saying one day if I meet a person, I want someone who is not even married, who has never been, because you meet even people 50, 55, they're never married. Or a widower.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You have skills, field officer?
I did housekeeping and hotel management.
Okay.
That's what I did.
All right.
Yes.
And you can also do business. Would you like to give out your contact? Maybe there is someone there who either requires a manager or anything. I mean, our audience is diverse. You can always have a conversation and see how you can restabilize. My
numbers are 0722 395 286. Yes.
Registered as?
It's registered as Janet Shitandi Omumia. IG Janet Shitandi Omumia. And then Facebook Janet Shitandi Omumia. TikTok Janet Shitandi Omumia.
Wow.
I have a page that business page. I'm selling shoes. You see, when I was having a business, but I'm doing online now. I'm doing online business.
Yes.
I have a page, Janka Collection.
Now, Janka Collections. What would you tell a lady who would find herself in your shoes when you are running away from home because of the violence that was there, meted against you by your stepmother? There's a lady out there who may be in situations like yours. What would you tell her?
One thing I'll tell someone who is going through the same thing I went through, never wait to the worst minute to happen. When you start seeing the red flags in the home, just take precaution, seek for help before it's too late. Because, you know, I used to keep quiet and I feel like these things traumatized me. I piled them up to an extent that maybe my ex-husband used to see maybe I was too harsh on him. Because, you know, sometimes when things happen, I could explode and like the anger that I used to have.
The one that you have bottled up.
Yes, I think that was the cause of what I was going through. And maybe that's what contributed on my marriage. Because I used to have too much anger that maybe might have contributed. But he never used even to tell me. Yeah.
Now, I in the story you mentioned that you helped your son's girlfriend when she delivered, and you also took care of your stepchildren. Could you talk to step parents?
One thing I'll love to tell step parents, just be you, do you. And if at all you went to a home that the parents are still alive, please let someone take care of their kids. Don't involve yourself in someone else's child. Because no matter what you do, you'll still you'll be tinted the bad person every time. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Janet, for your time and courage to share the story of that burden that you've carried for that long. We wish you the very best.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Tuko family, that's our conversation here on Tuko Talks with our guest, Janet Shitandi, and her journey in marriage. And not just one, 2 marriages and another one where she tried to just find love. She's a lovely person, and I believe that you have learned a lesson or two from her experience. My name is Kingori Wangeshi. This has been Tuko Talks. Thank you so much for your support and for watching. And we've noticed that so many people watch and they've not subscribed. So kindly do so. It's only free and fair. Thank you.